the wife got on to me earlier for not documenting. So as you know, last week we had a hurricane. I pulled the plants out Wednesday, so some of them have been kind of going through shock and getting over some stuff. But I'm going to go through my plants and kind of what we've been doing the last few days. We actually just got another tomato plant this afternoon, and we've transplanted that one in the Roma tomato, and I'll show you all this in a few minutes. So let me flip the camera around. Alright, we're going to start over here on the table. Things have been moved around since the hurricane. I think this is going to be more of a windswept bonsai. I need to kind of start training some of this other stuff back a little bit to give it a better windswept look, but I think that's how this is going to develop over the years. As you see, some stress from the hurricane. Things are coming back though. Still don't remember what this is, what we've got. I keep turning them around here. Our semi-cascade bonsai that we're working with. As you see, it's growing a little. The Alternathera, I've turned them around here a couple of times over the last couple of days. Heck. Oh, shoot. Come on, Minnie. Succulent's doing good. As you see, this has just taken off. I've actually got a home for this when it gets a little bigger. Pepper I took off the plant, something got to it, so I'm going to let it stay out here and dry out a little bit more. My daughter put together a lovely potting bench. I was using her tools earlier. The Bromeliad is doing great. As you see, it's getting ready to have it has some pups. I'm waiting for them to get a little bigger. Stress killed off a few of the plants, and it's just the way it is. And my moss is not growing. This Alternathera is turning a little purple. Trying to get it to root. Don't know how my jasmine clippings are doing, but we're gonna see. The aloe is just starting to take off. I've got to figure out how to prune it down a little bit and see how I can work with it. The other things in there are rooting up. This is rooting up pretty nicely. Wife got a hibiscus today. Definitely a different leaf structure than what our other hibiscus has, but definitely a pretty plant. Gonna see how he or she develops in the future. I repotted it because he was in that little small pot. So we replanted him today, gave him some water. My pothos or philodendron or whatever this is, I'll have to clip that out later. He's doing pretty well, rooting up. This one, I think a lot of this is dead because of the stress, but oh hey, cool. Yep, definitely. That's awesome. I'm trying to get it to where y'all can see it. But there. These little bits here are starting to bloom out. I'll probably trim this down to here and see if I can get the bush out really again one more time. So as you see, my garden area has, well, you don't know, but it changed. I had all the plants lined up. But we're going to start here. Here's my cranberry hibiscus. We brought them out here in the yard about 2 weeks ago and just let them grow. I think I need to trim them down, but I'm not sure yet. They're looking really good this afternoon. Still, I like this plant just because of its coloring. My habanero that I want to say I got it right after Hurricane Irma, so like last week. He's starting to pump out a little bit. I need to get a 2-gallon pot and some more potting soil and replant him. I haven't done that yet. The Roma tomato Lisa and I got. So he had some dead piece on him and I went and pulled. And this came up. But what's really interesting is this is all on this top really squishy and dead. But he's got all this on him and he doesn't look like he's dying up here. So I replanted him today. Restaked him up. I need to get another tomato cage. And this is Yeah, it's all the way down. So that's a Roma tomato. This is a cherry tomato, and just grabbed him today. He was like $1.25, so we're gonna see how he grows out. But I went ahead and threw him in the tomato cage we got a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna try and grow him in here. So I talked to the master gardener today, and they said that these things don't really like direct sun. So this area of my yard gets a lot of filtered sun throughout the day because of the trees and the sunlight and all that. So we moved them over here today. We're going to see how they do over the next few days. I'm trying to hold off watering them so much to see if that helps anything, especially because these guys went through a lot of shock coming back outside. All their leaves dropped off. Like, it did this number, and then they all just kind of died off and dropped, or I pulled them off. But as you see, this one's popping back out, which is really nice. This guy's got some more growth coming on him, coming up the stem, which is I love. This guy didn't die. I'm kind of happy for him. And this one's starting to get some growth coming out as well. My first year growing daddles, and that's kind of why I wanted to come out here and do this grow log as well and kind of see how they're doing. I went a day without watering because they just felt really wet, so I'm kind of figuring out their watering needs while I'm doing this. These are 3 or 4 weeks now, so we're first year growing daddles. This is the big guy we got from Art's Nursery. This is all heat wilt for the day. I did water him about an hour or two ago, and he'll pop back out tonight. And that's why we wanted to try this new area, is because this has been happening like daily. But it's growing. We've got fresh growth at the bottom. This one didn't really suffer too much pepper like shock coming out of the garage or even into the garage, which is really nice. Has some really nice fruit developing, and like heck, should be ready to be picked here pretty soon. Some fruit coming in. This one may be stunted, and I probably should take it off here pretty soon just in case it doesn't get much bigger. Where's some other fruit? Have that one. I'll have a couple down here. Cool, I've got some more fruit coming on, more than I thought. So, yep, this is my little daddle pepper bush. This is my tiny little garden spread out in the yard. As we kind of wrap up living here, we kind of started ramping up our growing efforts. The hot peppers over here are mainly to grow for, sauce production, and just to see if I can do it myself so that we can actually become more sustainable in some business ventures we're doing, as well as just living in general. This has, just been a really a great experience to kind of start getting back into the land and growing things again. My wife actually told me today that since I've started gardening, I've kind of become a little bit calmer. And, it's a sense of accomplishment to see plants growing, to be trying things, experimenting quickly. I've got like 3 different types of potting soil mixes that I've used out here. Like the cranberry hibiscus, it's in a Miracle Grow. So that's one, I think, yeah, that's Miracle Grow. Like I said, I've got 3 different mixes out here. My tomatoes, they're actually all both from the same bag, so they're both from the same company. I bought them from the same nursery, which is the feed store. Same with the habanero. And I bought Bocaro, I think it is. I'll have to find the bag. But I bought a 50-pound bag of that. It's really heavy and dense. I don't know how I like it for other mixes. I think it needs more perlite in it, for sure. The Miracle Grow, my cranberry hibiscus are doing well. My little daddles are doing well. So we're definitely kind of experimenting and trying things differently with different plants. I definitely think I want to start cultivating my own soil mixture though. I kind of have an idea in my head of where I want to go with it, and I think I've got some good starter thoughts, and I know where I'm going to get all this stuff. So next payday I'll probably be getting a big trash can to definitely do some more soil mixes. But that's also why we want to start composting, so that we can do our own soil mixes. Some of the plants are in a bonsai mix I made with some sphagnum peat moss, some perlite, and I think I used some desert plant mix and some perlite, and those made out. I brought my palm tree back out today, and that's in like some of my original mix, and then some topsoil on top of it, so that's an experiment in of itself. But he's really like a bonsai with all like his root structure. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. We'll do it another time. So I think that's all we're gonna say for today. As we were replanting the tomatoes, my hands were all dirty, and the wife's like, "Hey, you should be documenting this." So when you see this later, honey, I documented it. I'm definitely enjoying watching these tomatoes grow. The one hasn't grown too much, too little, but moving them into the bigger pots today, it's definitely gonna give them more room. And I watered them, so we're gonna see how they go over the next day or two, and probably give them another week. That's something else I found out is I kind of put some fertilizer on my plants when I brought them out, and that may not be good. So we're seeing how things kind of develop, how they kind of go from here, and soon enough we will re-fertilize. Probably another week or two. Hopefully everything will come out of shock by then, and fertilizing again won't be a bad thing at that point in time, especially for the tomatoes and the peppers. So that's where we're at for the grow log today. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you want more things like this. Typically we talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin trading. Talk about my garden now as well, because I like my garden. And this is all jasmine on the back, not mine. This is where I got my cuttings from. It's my homeowner's, and I'm not the homeowner. But here's to hoping that tomatoes pick up pretty soon. Here's to hoping the peppers will show something cool over in the shady area, and we'll document that in the next couple of days. So, peace.